If you're another team in the National Football League, good or bad, you make calls. You make a call. Because Jerry Jones is stubborn enough that he might even make a deal. He thinks that the Cowboys brand and his ego is bigger than getting this guy secured long term. Now, he waited with Dak and he waited with CD, and there was murmurings about that and whether they'd move him or not. You're dealing with the same thing. Christian, your prediction today, he's going to be a Cowboy, September 6th when the first season starts?
No.
You don't think so?
No. I think that someone's going to pony up an offer that Jerry Jones cannot refuse that will make it feel like the Cowboys won the dispute between he and Micah Parsons because they made out like bandits. One, they do not have to pay him anymore because you see how much cap space Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb are already keeping up in that salary cap for the Dallas Cowboys. One more head at the top premium position like Micah Parsons, it will deplete the rest of that roster.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pay that. And how many first-round picks?
2 to 3 and a very high-impact player. I would say 2 and a high-impact player would get it done.
I think the Cowboys make a deal.
Yeah.
I think that they are not a Micah Parsons returning away from being a competitor, not only in the NFC, but a competitor in their own division. I think they are 3 or 4 impact players away from being a competitor in their division, let alone the NFC in general.
Would you be okay if the Ravens made a call?
I'd have to look at the financials because obviously you're not going to trade for Micah Parsons unless you have.
You're giving up a couple starters. You're giving up probably a starter or two and a lot of picks because the Ravens are not going to have a good first-round pick. The Cowboys know that, and therefore they'd ask for either more picks or another player.
I think the Ravens are okay.
Okay.
I don't think the Ravens need Micah Parsons right now. I don't think it would be worth it for them to get diminished returns on Micah Parsons. I think the odds are out there on if a trade does go through and where Micah Parsons would end up if it is not on the Dallas Cowboys. Who would you guess is the favorite?
I could see Jacksonville I truly can see Jacksonville making a move because Jacksonville has two. I'm not just saying that. They have 2 edges. They have Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen. They would give up one of them, and they'd probably give up 2 first-round picks. I could see that happening. I don't see any major contender in the NFC making a move. I think if they were going to ship him, they'd probably ship him out of conference. I think that would be probably the smart move. I don't think a team like the Packers or the Rams would make a call, but a team like Jacksonville, a team like Houston wouldn't because they just traded for a big-time edge rusher. So we could do through process of elimination here. I mean, maybe he's available on anybody's radar just because of how good he is. But if I'm thinking of teams that are probably closer to contending than not, that'd be the team he'd want to call for. I mean, Cincinnati's not calling. They don't have the money for him. The Chargers, you think they'd call? Is that if they let Bosa go and he went to Buffalo? I could see the Chargers making a call there.
So the Chargers are the 3rd most likely team according to the odds out there. The Raiders are the favorites right now to land Micah Parsons if he does get traded.
Who's the second favorite?
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
No, not a chance. Not a chance.
Whew, you're paying TJ Watt and Micah Parsons. We got number 1 and we got number 2.
And just because Rodgers is cheap, you're going to spend $85 million on 2 edge rushers when they have a good defensive line? No.
And then
I'd be surprised by that.
Good call on the Chargers. They are 3rd, followed by the Jets and Colts.
Wow, so no Jacksonville that high. I really think Jacksonville can make a move there.
Jacksonville is in that bottom tier. And they're 40-1.
And they got that 30-year-old as the general manager. They're not afraid to make a move. He'll do that. He's got a little A.J. Preller in him from San Diego Padres. He'll make that happen. I don't know if I want him, but he'd make that happen.
But like you said, he is a very hot commodity if Micah Parsons effectively reached the open trade market.
And so here's the most fascinating thing of what Micah Parsons said in his official trade request that he released on Twitter. You can check it out on his Twitter page. He goes, to finish it off, quote, "Up to today, the team has not had a single conversation with my agent about a contract. Not one demand has been made by my agent about money, years, or anything else. So I stayed quiet, and I finally made the tough decision that I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally." If this is true, and this is how the Cowboys operate, now they might shut him up with the money at some point because that's what happens. But that star in the helmet can't last with this good faith nonsense. When Jerry Jones is talking to the media every 5 seconds, going on 105.3, The Fan, and breaking down how Micah Parsons can't stay healthy and he could get hit by a bus. What type of good faith acting is this? I don't understand long term how this encourages players to come to the Cowboys, number one, and number two, how this even encourages Micah to show up. Not even like showing up in good faith like Trey Hendrickson. This is just, what is Micah supposed to do here? He wants out. He doesn't want to be there. Now, will the money shut him up? Probably. These guys are not stupid. Agents are not stupid. I don't know how, but multiple teams are going to call here. Now, the ball's in the Cowboys' court. They could think, can I get 2 or 3 first-round picks and a big player for him? Am I willing to do that? Or do we pay him tomorrow and be done with it? I think to Christian's point, if there's an offer on the table that they cannot refuse, that is when they would do it. Now, the question is, what would you give up for him? If you're a fan of a team, what would you give up for Micah Parsons? Would you give up player 2 picks, player 3 picks, player 4 picks, 2 players, 3 picks? What would it take? 888-760-3776. Dolphin fan, a Giant fan, Jet fan, Charger fan. What would you give up to go get Micah Parsons? Let us know. 888-760-3776. I think I would give up Josh Hines-Allen. I'd give up a first-round pick, and I'd give up 2 seconds. If that doesn't do it, fine. We'll keep our guys.